Please join me in Gasho. Naman Dubs, Naman Dubs, Naman Dubs, Naman Dubs, Naman Dubs. Thank you, Suazone. Were you able to hear that at all, the Kansho bell? Yes? Oh, okay, good, okay. So welcome to our February 13th regular Sunday morning service. And I'd like to begin this service with a moment of silent meditation, followed by the recitation of the name of the Buddha or their Nembutsu. And welcome to those who are here in person as well. Are you okay if I don't have my mask on? I think we're far enough away. Okay, you're okay. Please join me in Gasho. Namo Amidabs, Naman Nobs, Naman Nobs, Naman Nobs, Naman Nobs, Naman Nobs, Naman Nobs. Thank you. Next, we're going to have the chanting. We're going to start off with the chanting of the Vandana Tisarana. If you're here at in the temple, in the purple seitan, it is on page 325 of the purple seitan, 325, okay? Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to him, the exalted one, the enlightened one, the supremely awakened one. Buddham saranam gacchami. I go to the Buddha for guidance. Dhamma saranam gacchami. I go to the Dharma for guidance. Sangam saranam gacchami. I go to the Sangha for guidance. No one knows. No one knows. Next, we'll have a reading, and we're going to be reading together our pledge, which is written by our President Gomonshi-sama, and you'll see it on your screen. And for those of you attending, it's also on the screen, or you may have printed it out. Okay, good. Okay. Our pledge. Breaking out of my shell, I shall carefully share a warm smile and speak gentle words, just like the kind Buddha. Not becoming lost in my greed, anger, and ignorance, I shall be open-minded and act accordingly, just like the calm and peaceful Buddha. Not putting myself first, I shall share in the joy and sadness of others, just like the compassionate Buddha. Realizing the gift of life we have received, I shall live each day to its fullest, like the Buddha who continues to emancipate all. Namandaps, namandaps. Next, we will have the Sutra Chanting, and we will be chanting the Jusege in Japanese, and then also following that in the English translation afterwards. But you can see it on your screen. In the purple seiten, it's on page 83. Okay. Namandaps, 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 namandaps. Namandaps. Gagon chosega hishima jodo shigan manzok sefu jo shogak gawo muryogo hui dai se shu hu sai shou bing sefu jo shogak ga shi jo budu do myo sho jo ji mo ku kyo mi sho mo se vu jo sho gak ri yok jin sho ne jo e shu bong yo shi ge ma jo do i sho ten ni shi jin ni gi en dai go wu shou me sai do shou jiao sang ke myo ko sai shu yak na kai hi chi e ge me shi go mo a he so ge shou ak do ci da zi zen shu mo ko so jiao man zok ni yo ro ji mo ni ni ga zi zhi zhi gi ten gong bu gen yi shu gai yo zo ko se ge do ge ho jo dai shu zhi se mo shi shi ge ku yo yi sai bu ge sa ge shu do ge ho gan ne shi zi jo ma do ge yi sang ai yo nyo bu zi me ge chi ci da zi mi hu xiao gang ga ge e li 도시 사이쇼소 시간 약고가 다이센오 간도 고그쇼대니 도우지묘게 Okay, we're going to actually chant this in English as well. And for the English chanting, it's 1 beat per syllable, except for where it's hyphenated. It's 2 beats in 1 beat for 2 syllables. But it's very natural, so you could just join along. No mandos, no mandos. I have made unrivaled vows and will reach the highest path. If I fail in any way, may I not attain Buddhahood. Should I not provide to all for countless kalpas to come, aid in times of suffering, may I not attain Buddhahood. I will reach enlightenment, but unless my Buddha name resounds throughout the universe, may I not attain Buddhahood. I will practice a noble path, wisely, mindfully, free of greed. Seek to reach a supreme way. Be a guide to one and all. May my power shine great light to illumine and dispel the darkness of the 3 poisons and save all from suffering. With eyes of wisdom I'll remove the darkness of ignorance. I will close all evil paths, open gates of highest good. When I attain Buddhahood, light will shine throughout all lands, light brighter than sun and moon, outshining all heavenly lights, giving my virtues to all, not forsaking anyone. I will proclaim the Dharma like the roar of a great lion, bowing before all Buddhas, steadfastly gaining virtues, with wisdom fulfilling my vows. I shall be a guide to all, like the wisdom of my teacher. May my wisdom also shine all throughout the universe, and illumine one and all. If I shall fulfill these vows, may all lands tremble with joy. From the heavens wondrous flowers rain down upon all the lands. The virtue of Amita's vow is shared equally by all, together attaining awakened mind. We are born in the land of peace. No one knows, no one knows, no one knows. No one knows, no one knows. Okay, now I wanted to, I'm going to bring something else up. Let me just prepare it. I'll bring it up in a second, but okay. So can you all hear me still okay? Yes, good, okay. Once again, welcome everybody to our morning service. And today's Dharma talk is on osmosis. Do you know what osmosis is? Yes? No? Yes? Yeah? Maybe I'll ask somebody here in the temple here. Suezon, I know you must know. Well, osmosis is, of course, the moving of water from one place to another, place of higher concentration to lower concentration to create an equilibrium. Anyways, I wanted to start my talk actually by reading a passage. Last week, during the Nirvana Day service, I gave a passage from part of the last words of the Buddha, and in there, there was an expression of water. Water is round in a round receptacle, and square in a square one, but water itself has no particular shape. People often forget this fact, okay? That's what part of my opening passage last week. This week, I'm going to also use water as an example, but this actually comes from Renyo Shonin. Renyo Shonin is the 8th Lord Abbot of our Jodo Shinshu tradition. In our Onaijin, he's off to the left of the Buddha, facing the Buddha, Amida Buddha. Left of Amida Buddha is a large scroll of Renyo Shonin. He is the 8th Gomonshu of Jodo Shinshu and is a direct descendant of Shinran Shonin, the founder of Jodo Shinshu, who scrolls on the right of the altar. Renyo Shonin was instrumental in reorganizing the Jodo Shinshu teachings to make it really accessible to the people throughout Japan. And this comes from one of his passages that is left behind, and I'd like to share it with you. Hard is the rock, soft the water, yet water wears away the rock. There is an old saying that if there is a will, even the attainment of Buddhahood is possible. No matter how little shinjin one possesses, if one listens earnestly to the teachings, they will attain shinjin through compassion of Amida Buddha. Therefore, it is important that one listens earnestly to the teachings. So this is from the teaching records of Renyo Shonin's sayings. Again, I'm going to repeat that one more time. Hard is the rock, soft the water, yet water wears away the rock. There is an old saying that if there is a will, even the attainment of Buddhahood is possible. No matter how little shinjin one possesses, if one listens earnestly to the teachings, they will attain shinjin through compassion of Amida Buddha. Therefore, it is important that one listens earnestly to the teachings. Okay. Shinjin is mentioned here. Shinjin is the entrusting heart, or the awakening mind to the workings of the Dharma, to the Buddha. So even if one has very little of it, by continuing to listen to the teachings, like osmosis, it seeps into us, right? And just as the water can wear away a very hard substance like a rock, similarly, in our attempt or our earnestness to listen to the teachings, slowly it works upon us and slowly it seeps into us. And there's a very famous parable, and I'm sure many of you have heard of it. Some of you may have heard me talking about it. And it is about this the Chinese temple where a young novice enters the temple to learn more about Buddhism. But when he enters the temple, he meets the master and he says, well, I've already done a lot of reading on Buddhism. And I know about this, and I know about that, and and goes on and on and on, telling the master all that he knows. And the master says to him, after a while, he gently smiles and says, sit, come, sit, let's have some tea. and he begins to pour the tea. And as he's pouring for this young novice, pretty soon the cup is getting full. And the young novice is getting a little nervous, realizing his teacup is filling over. And the master keeps on pouring, and pretty soon it's overflowing. And the young novice says, "Excuse me, master, I don't mean to be rude, but my cup is already full." And the master then, of course, says, "Of course it is." And just like this cup, when you came into the temple, you are so full of ideas, there is no more space to put in new ideas. So what you need to do is empty the cup in order to receive new, fresh tea, I guess, or new ideas. So when we come into the temple, or when we attend the services, we also need to empty our cups. And in a way, our services, most, if not all Buddhist services, have intrinsically created a format in which we empty our cups. So when you think about what our services entail, we generally start off with a moment of silent meditation. And that meditation helps us to calm ourselves. And then we have the chanting. And again, the chanting, while we are chanting, the act of chanting is the most important thing. It's not, when we're actually chanting, we're not saying, well, what does this mean? What does that mean? We're just chanting. And in that process of chanting, we are emptying our thoughts. As you could probably tell, when you start chanting, your focus becomes just on the chanting. So the thoughts you may have had 10 minutes ago at the beginning of our service, that all dissipates. That all goes away, and you're focusing. And what you're doing is you're harnessing your vessel, or you're creating your own space to listen to the Dharma. So you'll notice that after the chanting, when I give my Dharma talk, I have a much more captive audience because all of you are much more focused on the Dharma now. You are there able to listen. And as we listen, this slowly seeps in. And I had a wonderful experience about osmosis yesterday. And I'm going to just bring up, let me just share with you. Just give me. Can you see that on your screen? The golden chain of love? You can see that, right? Okay. So this golden chain of love, we sometimes read it during adult services, but we read it all the time during our Dharma school services. And yesterday we had our regular Steveston Temple Dharma school, and we held it online, and there's a boy, David Sugimoto, who is in Victoria. David's father, Michael, or Mike, was originally from Calgary. And I knew Mike from when he was a little kid, because I grew up in Calgary myself. But Mike and David now join online, and they actually came in person last month, in December when we had an in-person service here. But so David and Mike, well, David's the son, attends our Dharma school services. And so yesterday, as I got onto the Zoom, before the service started, we had some time, and I noticed that David was wearing a t-shirt. And this is a spoiler alert. If you haven't watched Avengers Endgames, and I'm sure I'm losing many of you here, but Avengers is a movie series with all these superheroes, okay? And so this David had a t-shirt on with Captain America's shield on his t-shirt. And I noticed this, and I commented on that. I said, hey, that's the Captain American shield that you're wearing on your T-shirt. And I asked him if he was a fan of these Avengers. And he said, yes, he was a fan. David's 9 years old, I think he is. Anyways, so we got talking about that, and I said, well, who is your favorite superhero? I asked him. And David said, well, his favorite is Iron Man. Okay. And I asked him, well, why is Iron Man your favorite superhero? He says, well, because he can fly and he can bring out all these gadgets and, so he mentioned that. And then he said something very interesting. And he said, I wonder why, or he said, yeah, I wonder why, or what it meant when Iron Man, so this is a spoiler, so if you hadn't seen Endgames and you don't want to know the ending, put myself on mute for now, or whatever you want to do. But anyways, at the very end of this Endgames movie, Iron Man sacrifices his own life for the sake of all the other living creatures, if you will, to save the good people, if you will, okay? And so he sacrifices his own life in the end. And that's when David said, I think Iron Man was following the golden chain of love. And it just floored me, because here was a 9-year-old boy who was quoting the golden chain of love from a Hollywood movie, the Avengers. Like, it's the furthest thing that I could imagine of this Hollywood movie with action and adventure and superheroes. And here's this 9-year-old boy bringing the golden chain into it. And when you think about the golden chain, right, it starts off, I am a link in Amida Buddha's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. In gratitude, sorry, there's somebody trying to get in. I don't understand that. Okay. In gratitude, may I keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle to every living being and protect all who are weaker than myself. See? And so here what he was, this 9-year-old boy, and here he is quoting or bringing the Dharma into this Hollywood movie. And I thought to myself, wow, how wonderful. And in that moment, this 9-year-old boy became my Dharma teacher, because he shared with me, he taught me something that I had not ever thought about. And at the same time, it was the process of osmosis. We often say kids are like sponges. And I see Joanne with your granddaughter, is it? Yeah, and I don't know her name, but they're like sponges. They take everything in. And the reason why they can take everything in is because they have a much more clearer mind, clearer, empty mind to receive things. But as we start to age, we start getting filled with this thing called I. We get filled of ourselves, basically. And so I think this, or I know this. And the more we fill up with stuff, it's harder, isn't it, for us to put in new stuff. And that's why when we have the services, we have this format, so that we could empty ourselves and ground ourselves. When I think about so much anger and hatred going on in these protests that are going around the country, well, all I see in these individuals is so much frustration and so much anger. They are filled with it, that it's really hard to fill in anything about compassion, anything about peace, calmness. And so we have to figure out a way in which to diffuse that anger first, before we can bring in reason, before we can bring in compassion and caring about others. And as we proceed, or as we lead our daily lives, I hope this is a reminder that as we continue to listen to the Dharma, it is slowly seeping in. And as we receive it and we find these wonderful Dharma teachers in our daily lives, all over in our daily lives, it is a time for us to see how wonderful it is that we have been able to receive this opportunity, how wonderful it is that the compassion of the Buddha continues to work upon me. And out of gratitude again, if I can ask you, please join me in Gassho as we recite the name of the Buddha. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you very much. I'm going to. So this will conclude actually our service for this morning. I'm going to remove my spotlight and yeah, if any of you wish to, I can't remove my spot.
Okay, we're gonna go now.
Marty, check your chat.
Check my chat.
No, not you, Marty. Marty.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Did I start talking too soon?
Yeah, we could hear you.
Oh.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Sensei.
Sensei.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Sorry about that.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Marty, check your chat.
Thank you, Sensei.
Thank you,
Thank
man.
you.
Sensei.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good week.
I'm very happy to be with you.
Nice to see you, Fred Sensei. How are you doing, Jennifer? Jennifer, you're on mute. I
Yeah,
can't.
it's been real. It's been it's stressful.
Oh,
How's the weather?
What was that?
How is the weather?
Oh, it's snowing today. But I was telling Marty we put in a bid for an apartment and then it was accepted. And then they took somebody else with way more money.
Oh, no.
So it was
Oh,
kind of
no.
like a backstab being. So we're
Oh.
trying to find another place to live. And I think the people who own the apartment now want us out by April.
Oh,
So it's like, all right. But this is all very like grounding
Oh.
to me. So anyway,
oh, good luck. Good luck.
thank you. Thank you. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate everyone. Thank you, everybody.
Okay.
All right. I'll see you later.
Okay. Bye, Jennifer.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Sensei.
Thank you. Thank
Bye, Dad.
you.
And Rose.